Hey, everybody, welcome on in. It's time for Clay Share Live at 5. This is our weekly live broadcast, and tonight we have a special guest joining us. We have Drew Seymour from Clayscapes Pottery. Now, if you've been following us and watching us for a while or a Clay Share member, then you've seen Drew before. You know we love him. He is like family. Everybody at Clayscapes, they're just really a wonderful company. They make beautiful glazes and just so happen to make my own glazes. So, you know, kind of partial to them for that. And if you haven't checked them out yet, go to clayscapespottery.com. I want to show you two of my favorite glazes. This is my spearmint and my lake blue. When you dip them together, they are amazing. You can get those from Clayscapes Pottery. They also have my cobblestone. Here's an example of cobblestone with spearmint. And then I got a couple more. This is cranberry right here. And oh yeah, nutmeg, because the nutmeg's here. This is just iron oxide. So tonight, Drew is going to do a glazing plates demo using dip and pour glazes. I got a couple announcements to share with you though, and I'm really excited because you know, every year at Clay Share, we do the Veteran Caregiver and Scholarship, the Veteran and Veteran Caregiver Scholarship. This is a lifetime membership to Clay Share. You can be a veteran of any military service anywhere in the country or a caregiver for any veteran to be eligible. And the application has gone up on ClayShare, and Kevin's going to tell me exactly where you can find it. It's on clayshare.com under resources. So, oh, just go to clayshare.com and you can see the application has its own tab now. Okay, well, he got fancy on me. It's linked right there. Fabulous. That's wonderful. So you can apply or you can nominate a veteran or a veteran caregiver that you feel is deserving, and you can just go ahead and fill that information out. The applications are open through the month of November, and we'll be announcing the winner, well, the recipients. What date is that again, Kev? He's going to give that to me, and I'll be able to tell you. But I'm actually, he's going to go look. I usually do it the first weekend of December, but we got to push it back because I'm going on a holiday trip. So I want, you know, we got to give it another week. So there's that. The other thing I want to cover is we have Maria Sampson doing this amazing test tile and glazing workshop with us, which ties in perfectly with tonight's broadcast. And part 2 is tomorrow. So if you've signed up, you took part 1 last week. Part 2 is tomorrow. Oh yeah, and part 3 is next week. Everything is recorded. You get the workshop forever. You can go back and watch it as much as you want, over and over and over. So go check that out under workshops. That is happening tomorrow at noon. So sign up for it now and you can join me and all the other folks that are going to be there. It's going to be so fun. And we have a fun class after this for our premium members. We're going to be making jingle bells, and I'll wait till the end to show you what those look like. So you'll have to wait till we get there. So go to clayshare.com if you're a veteran or you want to nominate a veteran or a caregiver. Check that out and sign up for Maria's workshop. Okay, business is done. Now I'm just going to be moderating. Drew's going to be working. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and type it in. I'll relay them to Drew. I know he's got a lot of information to share, so let's head on out to Syracuse and see how he's doing this evening. Hey, Drew, how you doing?
Hey, Jess. Hey, everybody. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you.
Me too. I'm happy to be here.
I know, it's been forever.
I'm going to be doing a glaze demo. And most of what I want to talk about is like, well, we'll talk about different things, but I've got some plates here. And, you know, typically folks will buy maybe 5 or 10 pounds of our glaze, which makes a bucket, right? A little bucket here. But that becomes difficult when we have a piece that's like too big to go in this bucket. So I'm going to show some pouring techniques. I'm going to basically pour the glaze on all of these. I have the only tool you'll need is like a big catch bucket. This is like a bowl, big metal bowl that I have that will catch all the glaze that I'm pouring. And then we will pour that glaze back into the bucket to be used. And so that's where, you know, if you're dipping and pouring your glazes and you don't have a ton of room for like the 5-gallon buckets, you know, getting yourself a nice big like salad bowl is a good is gonna do you service, because we're gonna be able to pour to these bigger pieces and catch it. You can also, some people will even take their banding wheels. You can even put this directly into the bucket and then put your pot on it and then pour it, and it will go into the bucket. But then you get this dirty. So we're not going to do that. I will say that I pre-waxed these plates. These plates, Jamie threw these plates. I did not throw them. I am not accomplished enough yet to be making plates. So Jamie threw these plates for me. We plan to use these as demo plates for Antica and showpieces. So I'm just gonna start, because the first one I want to glaze is gonna be the cream and coastal blue combo that I like to make. And so I've got cream in a little squeeze bottle here. I also have some cream on the side here if I want. You can brush it on, but I'm gonna squirt it on, because that's how I like to do it. And so I'm just gonna squirt like a drizzling of cream on this platter here real quick. Kind of like that. See that? Yeah. I like the Jackson Pollock technique, where I kind of just shotgun it at the piece. So what I want to do is we're going to let that one dry. I'm going to let that one set up. And in the meanwhile, we're going to skip to another plate that I want to do. Like I said, I waxed these already so that when we pour them, I don't have to mess around too much. This piece I want to glaze in this combo. So I've got the pitch black with the Jess's Chun over it. And then we're also going to give it some cream accents. And so we're going to get our bucket of pitch black. Don't mind me as I move everything around. And so
we had a question. How big do you think that bowl is right there?
Oh, good question.
The 14-inch? 14-inch bowl?
I would say this
Bigger?
This is a 20-inch bowl.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 18. It's a pretty big one. So I've got a 5-gallon bucket of pitch black here that I'm going to stir up real quick, and then I'll get to pouring and show you how I do that.
And Drew, you are doing a special at Clayscapes Pottery on your glazes. People can save 20% off at clayscapespottery.com with the code 1125.
Yeah,
Just
so
1125.
1125. 1125. That'll give you 25% off. Sorry, 20% off on our Clayscapes glazes.
Okay, awesome. Fabulous. So that's just on Clayscapes glazes. You guys, if you've been waiting, I mean, the only other time to get glazes is during ClayShareCon. No, I'm kidding. That's not. But this is a great deal.
I'm gonna stand and adjust my camera so that you guys can see. You don't need to look at my face. We're gonna look at where we're gonna be glazing. So I'm gonna be pouring my glaze here. Let me move my bucket up. And so this is where this nice big bowl comes into play. I'm gonna support my platter here, and I'm gonna take a nice big scoop out of my pitch black. See, you got this? And we're just gonna pour it. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it so I can get this other side. Okay, nice one single layer of pitch black. I'm gonna flip it. And then I'm gonna get some extra in here. I'm gonna pour it in here. and then just let it run off the side. Got to rotate it a little. Let it run off. And then we have our plate glazed and pitch black. We're going to hit it with some chun and some cream after it dries. But you can see now I've got this bucket full of, or sorry, this bowl full of glaze here that I got to take care of. So I'm going to set this platter to the side. I'm not going to spill this, and I'm going to pour it back into its bucket. And then I'm going to clean it out real quick here for you guys, because we have I got 2 more plates we need to use this for. So I'm using a Cheryl mud tool, like a red Cheryl mud tool, to kind of like squeegee up all the excess glaze and scrape it back into my bucket so that I'm not wasting any. And then I have a clean sponge here because I don't have a sink back in the warehouse. Just going to clean this with a sponge. And the second sponge. Okay. And let me just set this aside. And we're going to pour another one. I'll show you that. Does anyone have questions about that pour?
No, folks were asking what are some good combinations for lake blue?
For lake blue, well, I mean, cream and lake blue are going to look good together. The spearmint, obviously, and the cobblestone. Lake blue is nice because it's a floating blue, so it works similar to if you're used to coastal blue, or if you're used to like an Amico blue rutile. You know, it's going to do similar things as those glazes. Got a bucket of water here. I have to clean my thing off, so just give me a thing off. Normally I have a sink and I can rinse this stuff. Okay. That coastal piece is done, I think. We waited a few minutes. And this piece here, I'm going to now apply coastal blue to. With plenty of, where's my coastal? Here it is. I found it.
Don't lose your glaze. So you're currently working out in the warehouse instead of in your glaze area at Clayscapes. No,
Yeah.
You have a class going on in
there's
there.
One of these days I'm gonna get my own studio, and I'll have like a, privacy, and I'll be able to, do a glaze demo and have access to everything. But right now I've basically brought all these tools out into the warehouse because there's a class going on in the studio. And so it would be impossible for us to hear me in there. I'm just mixing up my coastal. So it's settled since I brought it out here a couple hours ago. So we want to make sure we have everything as mixed as possible. Beautiful. Coastal blue. Okay. So I'm gonna support this like this, so that if I need to move it, it's kind of like a pizza pie.
Yeah, that's
Rotate it.
almost a pie plate there that you've got. That's pretty big.
And so we're gonna pour it. I'm gonna start at the top here. Ooh, can we get the whole thing? Yeah, we can. Okay. And this is all wax, so this will all wipe away nicely. Same kind of thing, I'm gonna flip it, support it from underneath. And then these plates have a nice, it's kind of like a little a bowl type lip. So I kind of like that I can fill it a little bit like this, right? And then you can kind of like rotate it around. And because this is a plate, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it running, right? Like if it's too thick on the top surface here, it's not that big a deal. It's a flat surface, so it's not going to run or ruin anything kiln shelf wise. So that's why I like being able to kind of roll it around in there.
So we had a couple questions.
Sure.
So is the glaze in the bottle that you squirted on diluted? The cream that you squirted on the plate first? Did you dilute it? It's
Nope.
straight.
So
straight from the bucket.
This is I literally straight out of the bucket. And I also have this jug of cream here, which we're going to use on the other plate. And I'm going to brush it on. I'm not going to add anything to it. We're going to brush it.
And then we had a question which kind of go, you're going to brush a dip and pour glaze, but what if someone has brush on glazes? Is there anything they can add to a brush on glaze to make it dip and pourable?
Not really, because the ingredients in the glaze that make it brushable, they do that with a mechanic basically by making the glaze much slower to dry on the pot. And there isn't anything you can add to like increase the drying speed of something. You could add stuff to a dip and pour glaze to make it brushable, but not vice versa.
It's really hard. I mean, you just basically thin it down with water and try to pour it, but you might not get a good application.
Yeah,
it might crackle and come off and crawl. There's like all kinds of stuff can happen.
You know, if you're looking at, take for example the Mako stoneware glazes or the Amico Potter's Choice glazes, for example. Those glazes are so thick in their jugs. I mean, you would have to water them down to dip them, but you're going to get varying results. I know there are artists out there that have done it and have been successful, but typically that's after like a lot of testing, right? Where they dip and pour and fail and figure out and have to dilute it more, and make something work for their process. What's the next one? We're gonna pour one more and then I can decorate.
Okay. While you're doing that, how long can you leave that glaze in the squirt bottle?
This lives in this. It
lives in there.
Yep.
You just put seal the top and it stays in there.
Not even. The top is open. So every once in a while I'll have to go and throw this, like I got a bunch of squirt bottles here and there's like 3 or 4 of them that were bad that I had to get rid of and clean out and do it. But we have like a whole box full of these squirt bottles of different glazes in the studio. The other glaze I wanted to do, well, let's do, let's finish the pitch black and chun.
And then we had a question asking, do you plan to add more examples of your glazes on your website, more test tiles and some glaze pieces?
I don't know. It's not on the list of things to do, no, but that doesn't mean that I won't.
But Clayscapes has a great Facebook page and people
share
their
glaze combo Facebook.
Yeah. Page. And that's a great place for folks to share and to go look at your glazes and see.
Yeah. So this is the cream. I want this to be a little bit more controlled because I'm looking for like a circle in the middle. Do I want the chun? I think I want the chun in the middle. So I've got this squirt bottle of chun. I want to fill up the middle of this. So I'm gonna go. And so I'm basically just filling this with chun. Come on. And chun and pitch are gonna look real nice together. So got that. And I just squirted it, in there. And then I want to do some accents on the edge, just like this a little bit with cream. Oh yeah. And then she'll be a beaut. And obviously I will get pictures of these over to you, Jessica, and we can share them when they come out of the kiln.
I can't wait.
This will be pitch black and chun, which again is like this, with some accents of cream. The other one that we did is going to be this cream and coastal.
And now did we do that in a
Yes.
broadcast together? We glazed. So folks, you can go on Clayshare and search Clayscapes, and you should get that. Was that from this year's Clayshare Con or last year's?
It may have been. I've done it. I think I've done it a couple of times. But this will be the first time I've done it with the newest reformulation of coastal, and so that will. And also, I have never had it on like a big plate, so.
So the one you just did, folks were asking about the thickness of the chun. Do you want to tell? I mean, so chun is my glaze. I developed it 25 years ago. It is a great glaze, but it's one of those fluffy glazes. It seems you want it to seem too thick,
right?
For
and
it to
so
work.
the chun is. I mean, I've built up a pretty good layer there. Let me pull it back over here. See if we can get a. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, there's a good layer of it, but that's okay.
Right.
It shouldn't crawl. It should be fine.
Especially on a flat plate like this, it's gonna really be vibrant. I want that thickness, and chun is one of those glazes where if it's too thin, it's like this really nice pale turquoise, but you really want that extra buildup to get that punch, like that baby blue punch that you're looking for. And so I've got it mixed to a one. I think it's like a 155 in the bucket in the studio, but it's a little. It's on the thicker side for sure. And then we did that. Let's do this one now. This one. Okay, so for this one, this plate, I kind of want to try and do an abstract-y, what's the word? Like a landscape. So I'm gonna glaze the whole thing in black cherry, and then I'm gonna get some chun on it with some spearmint and nutmeg. And we're gonna have like the spearmint's gonna act like the trees, the nutmeg is gonna be like the mountain, and then we'll have some chun over here, which will be like the water. The water. But we gotta glaze the whole thing in black cherry first, which I have right here. And we're gonna do one final pour. Black cherry is one of our newer glazes. Don't mind me as I'm stirring here.
And I'm just going to tell the 155 is a specific gravity.
Yes. Yeah, that's
sorry. Some folks didn't. So specific gravity is the way we measure the thickness of our glazes when you're doing dip and pour glazes, and you will want a hydrometer, and so that you can measure that. Now, some of us have learned an old school way where we do the fingernail test instead of specific gravity, and that's me. But you can totally use specific gravity. It's actually more precise, and it can change depending on your elevation.
Yes, it can change depending on where you live. And, for the most part, though, it's a pretty good way to get like consistency. So if you're worried about like, well, I glazed it in this and it came out and then I glazed it again and it's different. Making sure that your specific gravity is the same every time will eliminate one of the possible like issues. Um, okay, so let's see. We're gonna do it again. Come here. Want to look and see? And where's my other water bottle? Everything's clean. Okay. So we're gonna support our plate. I'll get my glaze. Nice scoop. All that wax. We'll clean that up after. Same thing, this side next. A little messy,
Yeah,
but
that's the deal, right?
right. But it took me what, 20, 30 seconds to glaze that plate. And then when this layer dries, I'm gonna set it down whilst I clean up this mess, put you back without spilling. Thank
So you'd
you.
say that's the consistency of heavy cream, or would you say that you have it a little thinner than that?
No, it's about the consistency of heavy cream.
That's a pretty good standard, everyone.
It
So
is, it is. There are some oddball glazes that need to be thinner, or like specific gravity doesn't necessarily equal a feeling of thickness, because some glazes can be deceiving. They can, the specific gravity can say 1.55, for example, and it can feel too thin, but it's right. And so you just have to know, that's all. I'm done with this for now. We only need squirt bottles. Today we're decorating with squirt bottles. That's what
I love the squirt bottles.
my decorator of choice today. I was gonna use this brush, but then they're like, you can't buy it's a homemade brush. You can't buy it. So that's why we're doing squirt bottles. So we want the mountain. We're gonna talk this out because we're still, I don't know if you can see it drying. See, it's still wet right here. And so it's gonna dry. We're gonna do a mountain over here. I'm not gonna try and do it upside down because that would be hard. So we're gonna
Yeah,
do a
you
mountain
need to
over
see it.
here, and then I'm gonna do, or we could do mountain with trees. And then we're like, okay, I like that. So I'm gonna start. This is nutmeg. Mountain. Oh yeah, sorry. Pal. Just squirting that on there. And then I've got the chun and the spearmint. We kind of want to wait for this to dry as well. The chun is going to go down low, but I don't. Yeah, we'll put the chun down low here. Like a water line. Excuse you. My thing got clogged. So I'm going to put like a water line here, and then some water all the way up there. And then where'd you go, spearmint? Thick. So I'm waiting for it to dry. And then we're gonna do spearmint.
We've had a few people ask if you have any finished examples of some of the glazes you've been using, like the black cherry. Folks want to see what that looks like.
So the black cherry is gonna look just like this. It's black, but if I get it close enough to the camera, I don't know if you can see the like red fleck in it.
Oh yeah.
And so
yeah, you can.
Black cherry is going to have like that subtle, it's a darker, but it has like a subtle red to it. If it's thick, the red is more pronounced. I developed it as an exchange for Starry Night because I wanted something that had the same kind of feel as Starry Night, but not the expensive ingredients as Starry Night. And
So what? Yeah, so that if you have if somebody is watching that already has Starry Night, they could do what you're doing right now. If they have Starry Night and not Black Cherry, they could do the same thing using Starry Night.
All right, I'm gonna do some trees and some grass. Let's see here. So I'm gonna and then get some bush, that kind of stuff. Sure. Whatever, it'll look good.
It's your Bob Ross moment.
Where's that chun? I'm gonna put some more chun down here. This is the problem. These clog up, but okay, it'll be good enough. And then so we'll turn it around. You got like a little mountain with some trees and some. If I lift this up,
you're gonna get a little. Yeah, you want a little running there.
Move that green around a little bit down into the water. That's okay. They can talk to each other. It'll be okay.
They can be friends. Are you putting these in the kiln tonight?
Right. These look nice. I'm excited.
I know. I want to see them.
Probably go in the kiln tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, they'll go in tomorrow. And I'll make sure I get good pictures of it for everybody. Definitely share that. That's those.
So there's been more questions about the layering of the glaze. Could there be some crawling? Are you worried about that at all?
I'm not. Again, just because of the vertical surface, like all of these glazes are gonna settle and just mingle together in there. If this was on, if we were talking about, a vertical piece like this, these glazes would be way too thick. The amount of like squirt bottlies I have in there, there's a lot of glaze on there. But I expect those to kind of settle down and spread out a little bit. Whereas on a taller piece like this, yeah, we would have running, we would have crawling, those kinds of issues. So thickness isn't so much of an issue when we're looking at plates and platters and tiles. You can afford to go a little bit thicker and still be okay, because we're not worrying about running onto the shelves or anything like that. Yeah. Ooh. This, I have an example. So this is the picture you had up, I think, for this. This is a glaze.
That's the one.
So this is Starry Night with coastal blue and cream. And so you can kind of, this is kind of the vibe I'm going for with that last one. So we'll see what happens with it.
So it'll be similar, but you'll have the black cherry in there, and and the chun spearmint.
This is the old coastal blue formula. So any of my like display pieces that I've had for 10, 15, 20 years that have coastal blue on them, I'm kind of like having to go and retire them all so that I can show like, the current state of coastal blue, which is just as good. It works. It's fine. It's just like a nitpicky thing in my head where I'm like, technically that's the old coastal, and I want to show the new coastal so that nobody's confused. So yeah, that's why I got that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Glaze.
they shouldn't crawl, shouldn't have any problems, but we will find
No,
out in a few days. Because
we.
you've done similar things before though, and they've not
Oh
crawled.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No problem. The yeah, like the coastal piece is gonna be fine, no problem at all. I'm excited to see them as well. So they'll be up at our booth at NCECA. Woohoo!
Right. And Sika is just a few months away.
It is, and hopefully
End of
we'll
March
have,
this year,
you
next
know,
year.
hopefully we're gonna have some good fun toys for everybody to play with coming up this year. You know, I know we've been working hard on stuff, so that yeah, we've been busy. We've been busy. Holy moly.
There's a lot happening behind the scenes.
I know, right? We got Raccoon Day coming up.
That's
So
right. You want
anybody,
to talk about Raccoon Day? What date
yeah.
is that?
So Raccoon Day is it's next Saturday before Thanksgiving. We have basically like 500 little raccoon pots made and bisqued that you can come in. It's $10 a pot, and you glaze fire it and raccoon fire it out in the parking lot. Get to take it home that day. It's a really fun kind of like open house type scenario for us here. We've been doing it for 20 years, and it's always a good time. People love it. So, and you can stop by and say hi.
And tour Clayscapes and
Check
maybe
things
pick up
out.
pottery supplies, get some glaze.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, if somebody buys a glaze from you tonight, could they, you're doing the discount. If they buy glaze from you, will you hold it for them?
Yeah, if they want to pick it up. Yeah.
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 So if
And
you're
we do
going,
door prizes,
don't pay for
so
shipping. Oh,
there's
door prizes, huh?
yeah, we do. What is it, like every hour we give away a door prize. Usually there's like a bucket of sponges, because nobody's ever not, the bucket of sponges always goes first. I don't know why. Like you get to pick your door prize every hour we read off a person's name and they get a door prize. And so we get a bucket of sponges. Usually there's some Cheryl Mud tools, some like a decorating, there'll be like a glaze decorating one, and then like under glazes, we'll get like 6 of the Mako under glazes or something like that. And then we also do we sell pottery too. So there's like a little trunk sale for first
people
time.
come and sell their pots. Yeah, I remember a few years ago you did that. Someone asked, can you spread the glazes with a palette knife when they're on the plate like that?
You could. The issue becomes like how quickly, like once you start spreading them, you don't want to ruin the glaze that's underneath. And so, you may be able to do that. I don't see why not. They're dried at this point. But you can see they're super cracked. This is thick. Thick! Oh, it's thick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that led me to the question folks were asking, why would it crawl on a vertical surface? They think, wouldn't it just flow down instead of crawl?
Well, so that's the thing is if you've got a lot of thermal mass, right? So if we've got a lot of glaze in one spot, gravity is doing its job on that. And so as it heats up, that big blob of glaze is going to slump and pull away. Now, part of that is design, right? Like you can see this is where the glaze was, and then it moved in the kiln. But if you have too much glaze, it can fall away or just like run off the pot and leave a bare spot. And so you just want to be careful not to have it like overly thick on vertical surfaces.
And so folks that are new, there's a lot of people new to dip and pour glazes and maybe new to Clayscapes glazes. How do you sell your glazes? Do you sell them in pints?
So
You
we
sell them,
sell
how do you
them.
buy them?
We sell them dry. They come in 5 and 10 pound boxes. They are for dipping and pouring. I like to call them like what's the word? Like a bakery, like you bake a cake in a box, right? Like you buy the box of cake mix, you
Yeah, it's
put
a
it
glaze
down,
mix.
add your water, instant glaze.
It's a
You
glaze.
know.
Just add water.
um, we are looking into having them mixed for brushing. It's something that we're investigating seriously. And so, that may be something coming down the line pretty soon for people. I could tease that a little bit. But it'll happen. It's going to happen. I'm feeling
If you
confident.
put it out there with positive vibes, it'll
That's right.
happen.
And
Right.
so, I'm already down the road a bit for that. So hopefully that will, I know there's a lot of people that don't dip and pour that, want access to these glazes. So we're thinking of you guys, and, it's stuff we're working on.
So how many glazes do you have?
We have I want to say 60 different glazes.
Yeah.
But, we have, so for example, we have our stoneware glazes. We have Jessica's stoneware glazes, your stoneware glazes, your wildflower line. So that's a rainbow of, 6, 7 colors as is. And then we have the Brooklyn line, which is like a
I
opaque
love the
version,
Brooklyn.
like an opaque version of that. And then we have our own Celadons. So yeah, we've created a number of glazes over the years. So we're working at about 60 right now.
And so folks that might not know, Clayscapes was started by your dad, Don.
Yes.
And
So
these are his.
the original glazes are his Potter glazes from back in college when he was in the 80s. They developed from cone 10 to cone 6. And then, he went out and did the pottery. He did the White Tent festivals and did I want to say he did 18 or 22 shows a year, something crazy. In addition to, he's had wholesaler accounts and stuff like that. So, so that whole, that's where Clayscapes as a company started. And then, 23, 24 years ago, Laguna was going to close the Miller Laguna clay distributor. They were going to close this location basically. And so my dad said, no, he bought it and we nursed it back to health, back to what it is today. So, we're.
Yeah, and if folks want to find out about the history, I know we've done some sessions with you and your dad on ClayShare over the years, have joined us and told the story of how it started and everything. And you've been doing this, basically your whole life, but really.
I have. I've been here.
You're born into it.
I've been here, at Clayscapes. I grew up with pottery as a kid, but I've been working here since I was 19, and it's just been my life all day, every day. I get up and I come in and I do clay. I do the clay business. And so,
and
I feel lucky. I feel lucky.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be able to do that.
And it's not just you, it's your family, your sister.
Yep. It's a family business. So both of my sisters are involved. Mom and dad are kind of semi-retired, but able to kind of work when they want. And, and so we run the things, we run the business now. And,
I love it. Yeah. What are your hours? So you're in Syracuse, New York.
Yep.
And if folks want to come by and they can pick up all their clay, and so you'd mentioned briefly, but you have Amico, you have Mako, you have Speedball.
Yes. And that's also, if you're looking for more than just the Clayscapes glazes, the Explore 10 code still works. So you can still get 10% off on pretty much anything on the website is with the exception of like clay and kilns and stuff. But yeah, like, Sim, Mako, Shell Mud Tools, Amico, Kemper, which is now Laguna. We
You have Jared
Speedball.
Pottery Forms.
Yep, Speedball, Pottery Forms.
Did you say
Dirty Girls
MKM? I couldn't
Tools,
remember.
MKM, all the things, and so we have a studio. We have a studio.
Everything.
I'm in the warehouse. This is like the shady, the dungeon of the place. But basically, we have a studio where we have 130 students, and where they take classes every day, and they can come in and basically use the studio anytime we're open, for open studio time. And yeah, we're rocking. We're rocking. The studio is always busy. People,
and so
people have clay is their happy place,
Absolutely. It's all our happy place. So you have 20% off with the code 1125. So 1125.
Yes, 20% off on Clayscapes glazes.
And Explore 10 for everything else.
Yep, Explore 10. So if you wanted to get Clayscapes glazes, but you also wanted to get some Amico or some Kemper or whatever, you can use Explore 10 and get 10% off of everything. Or you can email me and I'll sort you out.
Yeah, he's great at that. And so folks are asking a kiln sale now. Usually you do a kiln special for Clayshare Con.
Yeah, so I normally do kiln sale for Clayshare Con. I will say kilns are taking a lot longer than they were initially forecast. So people waiting that are expecting to wait 10 to 12 weeks have been waiting much longer than that for kilns coming in recently. I don't necessarily want to run a promotion on kilns when I'm having problems getting kilns fulfilled, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe by Clayshare Con, it'll be sorted out and we can run a special. I'm always running a discount. So no matter what, you're going to get a discount from me. So if you call me and you're looking for kilns, I'm going to give you a great price. It's just taking a little bit of time.
It's just taking a while. So we're doing glazing tonight, but you are like a kiln guru. Folks might not know this. You know everything there is to know about all kinds of kilns. And you have done many sessions on the right kiln to buy, all about kilns. We've done sessions on firing Q&A. Do you remember the time we did the open Q&A and we're like, let's just let it go as long as. Yeah. And we had to shut it down. I think we could do 20. I think we could go for 12 hours and we just leave it open Q&A about firing and kilns. But if you're, new to Clayshare or new to Clayscapes, you guys are in luck because there's a lot of good stuff out there for you to go and check out with Drew.
And you can just use us as a resource, even. So, you don't necessarily have to buy your kiln from me. I'm not trying
but you help people. People call you that have bought kilns from other, we have Clayshare members that call you. They bought a kiln from somebody else and you help them. So that's just how you are. You're there to help people. And even if they didn't buy a kiln from you, I know you're great with that.
That's right.
The 20% off Clayscapes glazes, that includes my glazes as well.
Yeah.
So folks
all the glazes we demoed here. So chun, spearmint, nutmeg, all of those glazes, that is included. And so, that's for all of them.
All of them. If you go to clayscapespottery.com and you go to glazes, you will see all of Clayscapes glazes. Those are the glazes and they are all cone 5-6 glazes, although people sometimes push them to 7, some of them. So
I've had people fire a lot of them to 10, and they do really well. I know yours.
I fire things to 10. Yep.
But most people aren't firing to cone 10, so it's not,
And they can reach you. What is your contact info?
So you can either email me
directly.
It's Andrew at clayscapespottery.com, Or you can give us a call here in the store. Again, we're open 9 to 5, Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 1 on Saturdays. You can call me here. Our phone number here is area code's 315-424-6868. And yeah, I'm here. I'm here all the time. I just did my license so that I can fly and go to, we'll be doing some conferences this year, which it's been a few years. So
good. Yeah.
I'm excited to get out there and see you all.
And so you have kilns, you also have the kiln furniture, you have the kiln vents, shelves, everything people need for kilns. You have it all. You've got all the supplies for making your own glazes too. So you sell clay. We didn't even talk about that. You sell wet clay.
Yes.
You have Laguna wet clay.
So we sell Laguna, Standard, and Tucker. So we have been getting Tucker clay. I've been stocking like 4 or 5 of their bodies. That's been really popular. People are really liking it. So Tucker has like a really nice white speckle clay body. Usually a speckled clays come and they're like buff or brown or off white. So they have a nice white speckle. And then we love their raku. They have a really white raku clay. So that's kind of what we've been using.
Nice. And you also carry all of the dry materials for people that might want to make their own glazes.
Yes, we are a one-stop shop for sure.
And actually, I have to give a plug because you did a workshop, one of the first workshops we ever had about 8 years ago. You did a glaze chemistry, practical glaze chemistry workshop with us, which is great for folks starting out and don't know much about materials if you want to actually learn about making your own glazes.
Yeah, if you're just looking to kind of like, it can be intimidating looking at like all of the chemistry and what's out there. If you're just looking to kind of like get your hands in it and learn from like from your own point of view, that's the workshop to take for sure. It's not super, super technical. You don't have to, worry about being, it's not technical at all, but it definitely, helps you get a better understanding of like the materials that you're using and all of that.
Awesome. All right. So we got some plates. They're going to go in the kiln probably tomorrow. So be out Saturday-ish. So maybe pictures by Monday.
I'll have pictures for you by next week, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. By next week. So I will share those on ClayShare. So folks, and we'll put them up on Clayscapes Facebook as well. I'm sure you guys will share those. I hope so. So, all right, Drew, thank you so much. Anything you want to leave us with?
No.
No?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to have you.
We missed you. Missed you a lot. So
I will be around more and more. So
all right. Thanks so much, Drew. Such a great demo. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. So that is Andrew at clayscapespottery.com. You can go find him. You can go to clayscapespottery.com and you can reach him that way as well. Again, they have everything you need for pottery, anything, glazes, materials, wet clay, tools. I mean, I did a tour. Actually, I did a tour of Clayscapes, and I don't know where I put that up. It might be on my YouTube channel. It might be here on ClayShare, but if you search Clayscapes, you might get it. But I did do a little tour of their building and what they have at their facility, and that was a really fun one. I think I did it last year, the year before, maybe. So just a reminder about some more great glaze options. If we go over here, maybe I can get camera 2 to work. So this is my Orbe, which is a translucent green glaze, and then the brown is just iron oxide that I brushed on. So this is another Clayscapes. This is my glaze that was a cone 10 glaze. I reformulated it to bring it down to cone 6. And then when Clayscapes and I started working together to sell my glazes, this is one of the recipes that they make. So you can get this beautiful grass green glaze. It's translucent, so it's amazing with texture. Look at that. And you can also layer it with other glazes as well. So I wanted to pop that in because I don't think I showed that. And then some folks were saying they fire cone 10. This is my nutmeg here at cone 10. This is just iron oxide. So if you want to do this glaze, it can go all the way up to cone 10. Also, the Orbe can also go to cone 10. So a lot of times, if you do a test, you will see cone 10 is not so much hotter. If you actually look at where cone 10 is compared to cone 6 or 5, they're really kind of close. So it's not that big of a jump. So anyhow, I shared some of the glazes at the beginning. Go check them out. Of course, I always share Clayscapes glazes, and I'm really excited that Drew is with us tonight and that he's going to be joining us more and more in the future. It's really good to see him. 1125 is your code to save 20% off Clayscapes glazes. Explore 10 gets you 10% off everything else. That's an amazing deal. So while you're shopping, you can get quite a little bundle going. If you have any issues at all, reach out to Drew and he will help you with your order. Just a reminder that we have opened up applications for the ClayShare Veteran and Veteran Caregiver Scholarship. That's over on clayshare.com. You can sign up for yourself or nominate someone else, and we will announce the recipients on December 17th. During our live at 5 broadcast, during this broadcast. We have part 2 of Maria Sampson's glazing tests, tiles, and forms workshop, which is tomorrow. I've got my test tiles made. Have you? If not, you need to go watch part 1 and get on it and make some. But join me tomorrow at noon for part 2. And then in a few minutes, we're doing these jingle bells. They're all drying in an egg carton. So here's your little memo. Save your egg cartons so that you can make little jingle bells. They could be ornaments, or yeah, you can't hear it rattle because it's too wet, but you'll hear them soon. So that's what we're going to do next in prime time. Again, a huge thank you to Drew and everyone at Clayscapes for being a part of tonight's broadcast, and thank you to all of you for tuning in. There will not be a broadcast next week, but the week after there will be, and it's going to be my famous 12 Gifts for Potters. That's right, this year is the 9th year that I have done the 12 Gifts for Potters. And if you are new to Clayshare, you are in for a treat because, yes, I do sing the 12 Gifts for Potters. So come, I will tell you the gifts, and at the end I sing. So if you wish to not hear someone sing off-key, but it's very entertaining. And I still do it live on air every year. So that'll be happening the week after. So that's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I'll be back and I'll see you all then. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.